Well, it's going to be a Tim-focused episode, but let's kick it
Sorry,
off. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Kinda Funny podcast. Each and every week, 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table, each bringing their lives to discuss what's going on in them and hang out with you, the Kinda Funny best friends. If you like that, you can be part of the show and get it early over at patreon.com/kindafunny. That's right, days before anybody else would see or hear it. But if you want to wait and get it for free, no big deal. You can go to youtube.com/kindafunny or roosterteeth.com and podcast services around the globe each and every Friday to get a brand new episode and see what's happening with us.
Usually it's us and Andy.
Yeah.
He quit.
But Andy's just
He works for
gallivanting.
Here's the
LA.
thing. When he's like, oh, it's my birthday. My birthday trip's going to be, I'm going to go to Overwatch League. I was like, that's a huge fucking dork thing to say. Ooh, let's get our mouse and keyboard and see if Mercy can heal over here.
Sign my keyboard.
Follow the payload, everybody. Blah. And then, of course, last week, I decided I have to become a fan of one of the teams.
Yeah.
But I've had multiple offers, I'll have you know, to become a big fan, all right?
I think the SF Shock fucking reached out first, though.
What does that mean?
It's, well, remember.
He said last week on the podcast.
I get that, but like...
No, hold on. You clearly don't. Please, Nick, explain what happened.
Last week on the podcast, he opened it up and said, whoever courts me the best, I will become a fan. And the SF Shock came at him right. I'm just going to say that.
Thank you.
And they answered they even watched the episode because they said, and I quote, hey, that actually is a bridge in our Shockwave. Like, it is an homage to the bridge. And I was like...
They heard the episode, and they're just like, fuck, that's a good idea. We should probably...
Yeah, great idea. Everyone get on that. Call up Andy. They're like, call up Andy because he does our designs
But
too.
meanwhile, down in LA, our friend Mika Burton, who's involved with this Overwatch League, I think she might be the owner. She might be the Vincent fan of it. She's pulling for me to be a New York fan, and so she gave Andy a jersey to bring back for me. So now who's gonna get it? Is the Shock on it fast enough to get me a box of swag, or Andy, who apparently is walking back from LA? I don't understand, because that was the thing. All right, cool. We had fun. We made jokes that you're with the Dallas Fuel, whatever. I'll be with whoever gets me. And Andy, I'm joking around. But it was like, oh, cool. Man, he's been gone a long time, and it's Anthem weekend. That sucks. And then it was literally coming Monday. Look at the calendar. He's still out?
Yeah.
What the fuck is he doing?
I was like, hey, we have to do
him
KFAF
yesterday.
tomorrow.
He goes, I can't be on the podcast on Monday. I'm not sure what or how it happened, but I put on the calendar I'd be back on Sunday, but it's Monday. My bad.
Yeah.
Can there be repercussions here? How do we run this business?
No. Here are the repercussions. We don't want there to be
Fair.
repercussions
That's
for
fair.
when we screw up.
Yeah.
So we take it upon ourselves like martial law. So when Andy comes, we just give him shit. That's how it happens. That's the repercussion.
But here's the other thing too.
He's not in the room right now.
Don't
Yeah.
forget,
Talk
everybody.
shit.
I saw what is that, Joey?
Andy Cortez currently playing Anthem, so who knows what's going on?
Yeah.
This little shit.
According to his Instagram story.
Yeah. So he's here.
Yeah.
He's back in SF. He could be here today.
Hold on, we're opening Twitch because if he's streaming,
I've worked for fucking 18 days straight. And I have to do a kind of...
I
We
haven't
have
slept
no
in
idea what
fucking 4
KFAF is going to
years.
be on Wednesday. And Andy's fucking floating around like Iron Man and Anthem. Right? Oh, it's so cool. You can fly. Whoa.
I love the extent of knowledge you have on Anthem.
Because nobody got me a code. I want a code for Anthem. And Greg was like, oh, here's your code, Barrett. Here, Barrett. The king.
literally the
Barrett
Slack
has worked
message
here.
was who wants Anthem?
I said, I told you
didn't
in
say
person.
anything.
I told you in person I want Anthem.
That doesn't
Why can't
count,
you remember
you know
our
it.
in-person fucking
You
conversations?
know I don't remember him. It's all platitudes.
Barrett's been working for this company 3 days. That's how long he's been working for this company. And he's got a code. I tried to get a code for Wargroove. You're like, no, I can't help you with that.
In nearly 3 months.
Time flies, Kevin.
Two full months. It's about to be his 3rd month.
There we go. He's not going to answer.
Well, of course, he's playing Anthem. It's a very
No,
engaging
because
video.
he can tell we're talking shit about him. Also, if he does answer, ask him if I can drink his last Coke Zero.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, not much, Andy. How are you?
I'm great, dude. How are you doing, man?
Great. You're on the Kind of Funny podcast right now.
Oh, fantastic. How's it going?
Good. I was just wondering, like, how the flight back from LA is going.
Well, we're real high up in the sky right now.
Oh man, they got good Wi-Fi on that plane because I see you on Instagram. You're playing Anthem, like you're just sitting at home playing Anthem.
Well, it's high speed, yeah. It's this brand new. It's just a brand new thing that Time Warner Roadrunner starting up.
Oh, in the air.
Yeah, it's all. We're still connected, like with long cords to the ground, though.
Just do me a solid. Pass me to the stewardess. Just pass me the flight attendant. Let me say hi to them.
Stewardess. Yeah, sure. One second. Oh, she's busy, dude. She's giving out grapes.
You're a piece of crap. We love you. Bye.
serving out grapes.
That's good. That was a
What
good
a
response.
perfect
I was
response.
really hoping he was going to do a voice.
Yeah, me too.
It was me, the stewardess.
I mean, I would have done it. I would have kept it going, but
What is it?
But I actually care about my art.
Flight attendant, right? That's what.
Flight
that-
attendant.
Yeah.
You can't call them stewardesses or stewards anymore.
Yeah.
I don't think you could ever call them stewards. Was that the name for a male stewardess?
I would assume. I don't know though.
Steward? Stewardess?
Steward. I would think a steward.
Steward,
Because you're
S-T-E-W-A-R-T.
supposed to be like stewards of the Lord,
Like
right?
a steward is a real steward is a
you
position.
remember that, right?
It's like a
Yeah.
butler. It's like some sort of butler.
Well, I meant no offense by saying stewardess. I don't know why.
I mean, full offense. Full offense.
Flight attendant. Ex-wife was a flight attendant. I should have known that.
Tell you what
I
about-
just lapsed on that information.
Tell you what about flight attendants.
Surely,
I don't know if I'm allowed to tell a story or not. Joe, can I tell a story?
God damn it, Nick. You're killing me today.
Because D and I coming back from Missoula, Montana.
Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds like lyrics from the Kokomo song.
It's very close to that.
Missoula,
Montana.
Ooh, I wanna take you to Montana.
Also
Missoula.
Montana.
Coming back from, we flew into Seattle. Got on a normal plane because the plane we took from Missoula was a goddamn prop plane that said Boise Broncos on it, Boise State Broncos. To which the pilot was talking mad shit to all the other fans of like whatever the. Apparently, there's a bunch of fans that are like go to the other school that is the rival of Boise.
Boise
and so
State?
he was, I don't know, he was just talking shit. Anyway,
Boise
get-
State cool because they got a blue football field.
Well, one of them is the Broncos. Whoever the Broncos is.
No,
'cause the,
you're right.
because
You're
the
right.
plane had
You're nailing
Broncos logo
yeah,
on
it. It was that blue and orange, right?
Yeah, so he was talking shit to whatever. Anyway, it was funny as fuck. I've never heard a pilot talk shit before, but I was like, they should do this more. This is more. This is very entertaining. Coming back, we're sitting. My wife and I are sitting on the plane from Seattle to San Francisco, and one of the flight attendants looks at me and she goes, "Are you on that the Game Over Greggy Show podcast?"
You're like, no, we killed that.
And I'm like, well, first of all, I got very confused because I was like, am I on the Game Over? What do we call it now? Because I tweeted out the other day and someone's like, I was like, oh, well, I'll answer the whether I won this comedy competition on GOG, and someone's like, yeah, man, it's hard to let go of that one. Isn't it? I was like, oh, fuck,
I
you're
still
right.
do it too.
Yeah. But I was like, yeah, I am. She goes, oh my god, like, do you know Joey? And I was like, Joey's got a big fan out there. That's awesome. I'm gonna give her shit for that when I
She's
get back.
huge in the flight attendant community.
And so apparently Joey's. How does the relationship go with this person?
It's my best friend's cousin.
Best friend's cousin. Very awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say her name.
She doesn't care.
Okay. Her name's
Hey, Erica.
Erica. She was
Hi, Erica.
like, that's so awesome. I love Joey. She's so cool. Whatever you guys need, let me know.
I met her, right?
You may have. She came to prom.
Yeah, she was at prom.
Yes.
So
Was she helping?
No.
no, but she had a blast apparently because we caught up we had a great time this way. So she goes, "You guys want a drink or something?" And I was like, "No, we're okay. Like we're already really tired." And I kind of had a couple the night prior. She's okay, whatever you guys want. And then D was like, "Hey, like would it be weird to ask for those chocolates that they only give like first class people, or like the things you
You're
get?"
flying Alaska.
Yeah, it's Alaska.
Yeah.
Because she opened up the catalog and she saw the chocolate, but it said only for Mileage Plus MVP Gold members or
How you
whatever.
doing, everybody?
And she goes, "Do you think that
Still?
Erica would hook it up?"
So, quick aside, these
Yeah.
are famous because what happens is Nick was across the aisle from me once, and they came by and gave it to me, and then walked away, and Nick was like, "What the fuck is that?" I'm like, "Oh, this."
No, I wasn't
This
across
is
the
just
aisle.
something I get.
They fucking reached over me to give it to you. You were in like the window seat, and I was in the aisle, and they're like, "Excuse me," and their fucking hand brushed my face and gave it to you, and it like.
And it's like they give you like, "Thank you so much for flying with us,
Thank you
Greg."
so much. And like,
They never
and
your
like a
name, it's like,
napkin, Greg, boom.
And so
It's
Nick
like-
had such a problem with it, of course, from here on out, whenever I got them, I would then leave them on his desk with a note saying, like, I was just too full from all the other first class food or whatever I got. I couldn't do it. And so then it hurt, when we got degraded. And then we fled Alaska.
We did.
However, my last Alaska flight, they did it to me again.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, because I wasn't
Maybe you got
MVP
it
Gold
back.
anymore.
So long story short, I was like, and I had a moral conundrum about this because I was like, I don't want to ask for something that like she may or may not be allowed to give us. I don't want to put this person's job in jeopardy because we wanted some snackums on the fucking plane.
Mm-hmm.
But she came, she's like, "Are you guys sure I can't get you anything?" I was like, "Okay, if it's not too much trouble, would you mind? Like, can we get one of those chocolate bars that you only give to like Greg Miller?" And she was like, "Yeah, no problem, of course." Walked away, came back, and was like, "Here you go." Handed us a fucking like gallon Ziploc bag of them. And I wasn't thinking because I was tired, but I was like, I can't. Like, I was thinking, I'm like, I don't want to get you in trouble by taking this gallon. Like, someone's going to want one of these and you're not going to be able to give them. So I was like, we'll just take two and give you back. She's like, are you sure? I was like, yeah, but I wish I had taken them because I would have fucking written on every single one of them and put them on your goddamn desk.
Yeah.
I would have waited for you to go home because I'm not getting here early. Would have waited for you to go home today. and then just laid them out on your desk, brick tiling.
Yeah. Would have been a delicious
It would have
prank.
been amazing.
I would have enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But you're a man with no conviction.
I love it.
Unlike our Patreon producers
Damn.
for January, Drew, Emi, Kershaw, Kershaw, Jozavi,
I have it. Oh yeah, I think you nailed it.
James Davis, DJ Kento, Bert Meg, Mark Freeman,
Have
who,
you
by
heard
the way,
from Burt Meg?
no, I haven't. I definitely. Who would have thought? Laughing for 2 hours at someone's name, maybe not the best way to endear a fan. But hey, shout out to Mark Freeman, who kept getting called Mark Greeman, correcting us after the podcast, and then none of us remembering to correct it in the doc. He's been very good about that.
Mark Greeman?
No, Mark Freeman.
Why do we call Mark Greeman?
Because it was a typo in the thing and nobody chat. We just read the
Really?
names. If you put it on the page, I read the page.
That's okay.
It's Anchorman.
I did the same thing too. Today, Tim had me read the ad read for Internet Explorers, and the same paragraph was copied twice, and I didn't realize that I was about halfway through that paragraph. I was like, this sounds really familiar. And Kevin was like,
Patrick
it's the
Higgins.
same paragraph, you idiot.
Patrick Higgins, Gabe C, Pizza Burgers, still the best. Ramiro Gonzalez, Mike McLaughlin, Ty Moore, Willie Lopez, Ty Smith, Kieran O'Donnell, Dom,
Nom.
John Totlin, Sam David, Drew Gardner. This is another one I always screw up with it, but I like to say Garnier, like Garnier Fructis.
Yeah, Garnier Fructis.
Parker, Luckenbach, Eric Metzung, and Devin Holbrook. Today we're brought to you by Robinhood, but I'll tell you about that later because first we have to talk about Tim Gettys making an
Engaged.
honest woman out of Gia Tap Harris.
That's happening now. It's happening. She said yes. There was a lot of question. But it
Now,
happened.
there's a lot to unpack here.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you want to start? Do you want to? You made a video for
I
this.
did make a video. I
Yeah.
feel like for the context of this episode, we should watch it because
Okay.
I guarantee Nick hasn't seen it.
You were saying audio listeners.
First, I saw clips of it.
I
this
watched it
morning.
and I agree with you that it's audio driven. It's
Yes.
obviously go to youtube.com/kindafunny. You can watch the video there. You can see the engagement happen. But this lays out everything, and then I want to talk about how we got here. So yeah.
I also really want to watch that Ryan Reynolds
Yeah, what the
video.
fuck?
Yeah, I like
Let's
how
stop.
Kevin.
Let's watch this.
Kevin hovered over becoming Pikachu, and then the Try Guys switch pets for a day.
Guess who that's recommended for on the Kind of Funny account?
We still got to do that thing where we go through and figure out whose video is whom.
Who liked what?
Yeah, who liked what?
Who got us
Why-
here?
why
That's
these
really
videos?
funny. That's
Nick,
really
it's
really
gonna
good.
go very poorly for you.
No, mine are boring actually. Mine are all just red
All right,
letter
so are
media.
we're watching. This
Yeah, put
full
a picture
screen
in
it.
picture. Put this there. Audio listeners, I swear this one will work for you as well.
You want picture in picture?
Put our mics down for this.
So why even have picture in picture then?
For reactions.
All right, give me 2 seconds then.
Well,
Put
do
our
whatever
mi-
you want,
put our
Kevin.
mics
Just
down.
tell me what to do.
I have
Put
to
Joey's
change-
mic up and ask Cool Greg to bring me some goldfish.
Call Barrett, but have him stand outside and tell me the weather the entire
Stop
time.
talking.
Why
I
don't you
need to
call
do
call
something.
Barrett
I know
and tell
what
him to
Andy's
watch?
Just do it, Kevin!
Why don't you have Barrett walk me through Anthem because I'll never get to fucking play it.
goddamn
Because nobody wants to give me a
Andy.
fucking code
Andy
for anything.
Cortez.
I'm gonna fucking get you a code right now. You want a PS4? You roll with me, doggy
yeah,
dog?
I'm playing fucking turn-based strategy games on my fucking Switch, and I'm like a guy named
Just
Outsider.
respond to the Slacks. When I say on the Slack, what do you want?
Just give me a code for everything, okay?
no,
Everything.
that's a waste of
Everything.
codes.
Fucking Barrett.
All right, you kids ready?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's gonna look like. Yeah, we're good with that. Mm-hmm. Happy with this?
Love it.
Okay.
No.
Hate you. God, this should be audio.
Is the TV muted?
No, the computer is.
So, Gia and I have had an
hold
amazing
on.
4 years together.
I love that this is officially an episode of Love.
Quiet, quiet.
So, Gia and I have had an amazing 4 years together, falling in love, kissing while crowd surfing, and watching The Bachelor every Monday. I decided it was finally time for us to become a family, like in The Fast and the Furious, so I told her mom it was about to go down. Gia and I are both very proud San Francisco natives, but I have never been to Alcatraz, despite it being her favorite place in the world. So, we headed over, started the audio tour, but about 25 minutes in, this happened.
On June 12, 1962,
Hold on. We'll do it
Associate
later.
Warden Arthur Dollison was in charge, while Warden Blackwell was away on a 2-week fishing vacation.
So pretty.
Look.
Hello? Hey, Gia. I hope you're having fun on Alcatraz. So far, my first time's going great. Look at us. We're just a little Alcatraz fan. Yeah, this is happening. To say it was love at first sight would be a slight exaggeration. But love at first text, now that's real. I wasn't looking for you. Honestly, I didn't know you were something I could look for. It didn't feel fair to ask for you. The support, the depth, the partnership. The opportunities to learn not just about myself, but about others as well. It's the willingness to question yourself and push me to do the same. It's the back and forth. It's the lack of silence. That's not in the movies. The love songs don't mention that part. For the rest of our lives, we will have shit to shoot. All right, you can take out the earphones now.
Oh my God.
Gia, 4 years ago, we drove down to LA and we talked the entire time in the car. And that conversation still hasn't stopped. I found my favorite me in you, and I hope that conversation never stops. So I wanted to ask you, will you accept this rose? And will you marry me?
Oh my God. I love you. Oh my God.
Alcatraz is pretty dope. Here you go. I don't know how this works, but you can take this.
Kevin's gonna be on 5 feet away with a fucking camera.
Wait, you're supposed to open it
Oh, okay. Where?
I did not rehearse that part.
There you go.
Oh, it's beautiful. Oh my God.
Thank you, guys. Oh, man. What's up, Getchel? How you doing, man? Thank you very much.
I was
What's
so
up?
scared to turn around when I saw you.
Did you not see him right there?
I saw a guy. I didn't know. Even just now, I just realized.
Oh my God, yeah, like I saw you guys, like I heard you obviously, but whoa.
I love you.
Oh my God. Oh my God. When I heard your voice, I was like, I didn't even think that's what it was. I was like, he would do that.
Oh, it's so funny. I don't have the rest of the tour. I'm sorry.
Are you kidding? You don't?
I don't. No.
Wait, you're serious?
Yeah. I had to edit it.
The whole file.
I don't know. I didn't think that far. I was really stressed this whole time. I love you.
I love you. Oh, damn.
All right, we can cut. Then we had an amazing dinner at Epic Steakhouse, and Gia called a few of her loved ones to break the news and have their little moment, including 2 of her best friends that live in LA. After that, we headed over to my brother's birthday party, but when we got there, she realized it was actually a surprise engagement party with all of our friends and family, including her 2 best friends who flew in from LA.
I was gonna say I assume Kevin's got headphones on and can't hear. It's kind of not Kevin, just keeps going. That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm very happy with it.
So Nick, you have questions.
So how did you get the audio thing in the thing?
So it was a lot of work. So the original thing is, the audio tour.
Because I
on
assume the audio
Alcatraz,
tours they give you some sort of device.
They
There's
give
an
you the
actual
player,
physical
Did
device.
you notice it's a different device?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So, that
So
worked
there's
out.
a physical device that they have that has like a bunch of different languages, and you input like a code, and then it gives you whatever language you want. It comes free with the cruise there. So like once you get there, you have the tour no matter what.
Right.
So originally I'm like, I got to get that device. And so I looked into it and I went on eBay and someone had stolen a bunch of them.
Cool.
And I'm like,
Very
fuck
nice.
yeah. So I bought one and
How much?
$40.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah. I bought it and me and Kevin, we were trying to reverse engineer it. And by that I mean I asked Kevin to reverse engineer it. And he opened it up and we found the memory cards and stuff. And we figured out the MP3 file structure. I'm like, we can totally edit shit, put our own stuff in there and it'll work. It'll be great. But because it was stolen and stuff, it was like a proprietary charger. And there was no way for us to charge the thing.
Oh, yeah.
So we're like, this is unfortunate. So
Kevin just gets out a car battery. He's like, I got it.
well, he was looking into rewiring it and trying to like make it work, which is so Kevin. But eventually we just gave up on that plan, and Gia kind of teed it up for me perfectly, where I had played. This has been the long con with this whole thing. Like back in, I would say November, I told her, I was like, look, our December's crazy gearing up for Kind of Funny 4.0. Then January's doing Kind of Funny 4.0. I was like, I have this stuff. I was like, I owe you so many date nights in February. Let's just put them on the calendar now and just do a whole bunch of things. So we did the ramen thing. We did some stuff, but it was like, I made sure I did a whole bunch of stuff so she wouldn't suspect anymore.
Right, nothing out of the usual.
Yeah. So I was just like, we got Alcatraz on the docket months ago. And it was funny because I've never been, like I said in the thing, she's been a million times and she loves the audio tour. So I was like, cool, we'll do it. And she was so excited. And one day, like it was like in December, after we were trying to get this damn audio device to work and we couldn't, she was like, we were having sushi and she's like, man, like I really wish we could just share the device so that like we can pause it and like talk together and do the whole thing. And I took that opportunity. I'm like, I could just download the tour and like use it on my phone.
Oh, brilliant.
And she's like, oh my God, yeah. And so she totally set that up for me. And I feel like this entire plan was just a bunch of that story.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I was totally fucked. And then at the last minute, something happened that made it work. And it worked perfectly. Like every single thing about that, I could have not asked for it to go better than it did. And it was so cool. But then, yeah, eventually someone else, like tour companies, record themselves walking through the tour and just plug the
thing into the recorder.
And the recorder. There's so many versions, but a lot of them are bad where it's like, there's like anti-piracy things in it.
So it's like crackly or whatever.
It's crackly and like every 5 seconds there'll be like like to
annoy you
and like not have that happen. I found one version of it that was clean as fuck. And I was like, hell yeah, let's go. I even called Alcatraz and I was like, hook a brother up, let's go. That's what I'm trying to do. And the guy was so into it, but he was like,
we're a fucking prison.
They're like, no, they're not a prison anymore. Like now, but it's like, it's a federal state park.
Yeah.
So they're like, hey, sorry, like there's really strict rules.
Dude, you got to have the fucking file somewhere, bro. Just slip it into an email somewhere or hook it up.
And
let's go.
they've sold the tour before on vinyl.
Yeah.
So it's like, there were so many complicated hoops that I could have jumped through, and I ended up having to for a lot of them. But I got the footage. Me and Kevin, like I watched through the tour a bazillion times trying to figure the best spot. But once I saw them going outside and like you see the view of SF,
yeah, that's great.
This is fantastic.
So you just watched it. I was wondering if you went over there like you and Kevin.
This was my first time going. Dude, the internet makes things so easy. Joey was with us a couple days ago. It was me, Joey, and Kev. We're just looking at Google Map of Alcatraz, and you can just like go step by step through it. So we like pinpointed the whole thing. We're like, okay, Kevin's gonna hide here. We're gonna go here.
That's great.
The moment we walk past this, that's when Getchel's gonna come behind us and stuff. And it worked way too well. I had a mic hidden on me, like connected.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, so you had the rose in your pocket, which if you're an audio listener, you busts out this felt rose, and then the ring box is the top of the rose.
Is the rose? Yeah.
That wasn't bulky, and I didn't.
No, because you have to remember Tim doesn't like to be touched, which is the most surprising thing in this whole video.
I was thinking the same thing. Like,
I've never seen Tim hug her before.
Exactly. I was watching. I'm like, why does this feel foreign? Oh, so they're weird. Saying they love each other and hugging each other.
Like Tim just gave her a kiss. I've never seen Tim kiss anyone. Closest thing I've ever seen of that is Kevin gets real close to him sometimes just to piss him off.
God damn it. The comments on the video are so funny, and I love that Nick had the comments just watching this, where one of the comments was like, oh yeah, those three special words during a proposal. Is that Kevin?
Yeah. I was talking to Kevin. Kevin's like, yeah, I filmed it. And I was like, poor Gia. Like every major event of her life from now on
gets a great angle
is going to be filmed slightly shakier than it needs to be. But like with Kevin in a closet somewhere, like imagine, I was like, gee, you're going to be having your first kid and you're going to look over and you're going to think it's a doctor. But it's gonna be Kevin. You're like, why is our doctor so sweaty? And Kevin's gonna be like, could you just open those legs a little bit more?
I was gonna say that's a new Kevin voice, and it's great.
Oh my god! Real talk though. Shout out to Kevin because I know I can count on him for all this stuff, and I totally could. He managed the entire process of the video stuff, made sure that Getchel was there, knew where he had to be.
It's awesome that you guys did that for them, by the way, Kevin.
That shit worked. Like it looks way better than had any right to.
What I love about it is jumping to the engagement party when we rolled up. Cool Greg and Kevin and a bunch of people were outside, and I walked over and I gave Cool Greg his card and happy birthday and talked to Kevin like, so how'd it go? He's like, I think it went really well. I was like, and it just kind of hung there, and I was like, was she? He's like, yeah, she was happy. I'm like, did she cry? He's like, she kind of teared up. I don't know. I was trying to film it. And you watch it, she's crying immediately. I'm like, man, I can just see Kevin like, don't fuck this up. Don't fuck this up.
When you guys kissed, it was so incredibly hard for me to yell, "Yeah, use tongue!" to not yell.
Smart.
Also, I'm glad the audio didn't pick up when you forgot to put the ring on her. And in the background, I'm yelling, "Put the ring on her, you idiot!"
Yeah, he screamed that. No, it was awesome though because
just push. I don't understand why she doesn't just let me get in there.
There's so many people that were around us.
Kevin just has giant tongs all the time, just in case.
Jesus Christ. But there were so many people around us, and like you see them in the video, eventually they start to realize what's going on. But the thing about the audio tour is like, forget the proposal for a second. This Alcatraz audio tour is freaking awesome.
Oh yeah,
have you guys done it?
No, I went to Alcatraz when I was a young
Birdman.
Yes. Dude, it's like, so it is what it sounds like, but it's so professionally done where it guides you through the shit, and it's like there's sound effects happening.
That's
and like
cool.
it's like you hear the cells closing and like the stories, and like they talk about like the Battle of Alcatraz, you hear gunshots and shit. It's really, really tight.
My only touchstone for that tour is I think I did it when I was a kid, when they had like the fucking machines were like this big. But then also I might be mistaken that with when Phil Hartman walked them around and So I Married an Axe Murderer. And he's like, it pissed into the bitch's ocular cavity. Anyway, who wants to see the mess hall? Anyway.
But yeah, it was funny because everyone was doing the audio tour, so everyone's in their own world, right? Yeah. So all those people around us, like, they didn't know. They didn't
and that's
hear
what
us.
the woman in the yellow in the video, I like that she picks up on it early and hangs with it.
Yeah, there's one woman that was like obsessed with it in the background.
She's just staring into the lens, and I'm like, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing?
My shot.
Hey.
But yeah, no, I'm so happy with it. And then the engagement party was awesome because everyone was there.
Yeah, you did a great job with that.
And it was cool because it was a room full of people that like not too many people knew each other.
There were clicks.
So many different groups.
Greg and I had a moment with Gia's friend. I forget her name. The girl we met in Austin.
Shay.
That's her name. Thank you. Where she had changed her hair. Like in that picture, she was very much platinum blonde or like starch blonde. Brunette now. Came up to me and Greg, and we both had that.
And it was
moment.
right after we took the photo with the other girl. So I was like, oh, now people are just approaching us that are like, oh, hey, I've seen you. So she walked up and it was literally, she was like, hey, and we're like, hey. And then Nick is just like, man, haven't seen you in a long time. It's since Austin. And I was like, oh my God, yes, now I thank you. That was a good life preserver.
I was like, I know
there.
she's Gia's friend. I know a party with her in Austin, but I'm not quite sure because she's not blonde. And you know how things that I don't understand scare me. So I'm going to just keep talking until someone figures the situation out for me.
That was my favorite thing of the night, though, is like running into people that kind of knew us or, oh, you work with Tim, right? Like, oh, and every conversation I ended was, all right, well, I'll see you at the wedding. And they're like, oh, yeah, you will. Like, you think you've seen me for the last time, motherfuckers, but I'll be there.
I'm back.
Even more drunk.
My favorite thing of that party was, besides Gia's face and the Gia stuff,
besides, I'm fucking married and love my
D came.
Yeah.
Nick's wife came, which is awesome. But she made me feel so good because she came up to me. She was like, I saw that fucking ring. You did that shit, son. You did that shit. I'm like, oh my God. And like the look at her face, I'm like, and later Gia was telling me, she's like, dude, D was like seriously impressed. You did good.
Well, D happens to be very into rose gold right now.
There you go.
Very into rose gold.
Let's go, baby.
So she was like, that's a pro maneuver right there. She was very happy with that.
I appreciate it. I got to see Andrea meet D for the first time.
Oh my God.
Now, to be fair, Andrea has been giving me shit about this for like a year straight. And they met at my Cobb show. But I think Andrea didn't remember that. Because it was very briefly. So I was like, you guys had met. But my favorite thing is as I was leaving and trying very subtly to ghost everyone, I look over and I lock eyes with one John Drake, who is still in his puffer jacket.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, you guys getting ready to leave? He goes, he's like, I've been wearing this jacket since I walked in. I never took it off. I'm ready to leave at a moment's notice. He's like, I could have left 5 seconds after you walked in. I don't care. And I was like, where's your wife? And we look over and Andrew's just fucking partying outside, just having a blast.
That's
and
Andrea.
I'm like, how are you two? Like, and like opposites must seriously attract because he was like, I want to get the fuck out of here.
It was such a great time.
It was great.
And you killed it at the end with the Fast and Furious speech.
And it was my time to give the speech to everybody, and I gave the Fast Five. The most important thing in life will always be the people in this room right here, right now.
Yeah.
So leave me.
You went over real big.
Yeah, I did. It was good.
I missed that.
Then we went to McDonald's.
I went to Taco Bell and got donuts.
Yeah,
as well.
How'd that go?
2 separate places.
Wait, what?
I got Taco Bell, and then as I was by Taco Bell, Dee was like, "Wait, are we by that All-Star Donuts on Clement Street?" I was like, "Yes, it's like 4 blocks away from here." She's like, "You know what we have to do."
Nice.
So we went and got donut holes, and then of course, she's like, we're just gonna get donut holes, and I was like, you can't. No one just gets donut holes.
I do
do,
sometimes.
No, we get donut holes, but then just in case the donut holes aren't good, you got to get 3 or 4 extra donuts just in case.
Fair. That's fair. What if they've gone bad? That's
Just
not
in
bad.
case, because sometimes you get the donut holes, and you're like, when did you make those donut holes? Now, what I've noticed about the donut holes is if they're super fresh, they're not good. If they're really old, they're not good. They have to be in that. They were made a couple hours ago, and they've hardened just a little bit. Congealed a little bit. Yeah. They had to be like still doughy, but not super doughy and super hot. I can't do that shit.
Fresh donut holes are the best.
Not at All Star. I will say at most places, if you get them, they're good. But for whatever reason, that place they over fry them, and so they're just a weird. They just taste like grease when they're too fresh. They got to like drain a little bit.
I got burned out on All Star.
I used to love the one by my house.
I lived 3 blocks away from it, and so like me and Cool Greg and Kevin would go at like 3 a.m.
I'll say this, and it breaks my heart.
Chocolate milk.
Not the best donuts in San Francisco.
They're not.
No, the one there used to be an all. This one's like All Stars or whatever. There used to be an All Star donut on Chestnut Street. That's now a teriyaki bowl.
Yeah,
and those are my favorite donuts of all time.
Those are great.
But
when I went down to shoot that thing that we still can't talk about here, when they came to me to shoot that thing, and I went down there, I was starving beforehand, and so I just tried to find places around this random ass Holiday Inn, and there was a Togo's there, a sandwich place, and so I went there, and then there was a Wendy's next door, and I was like, maybe I want that, so I kept, a Popeyes, so I kept walking in between them, trying to figure out what I want, and like time's ticking away because I gotta do the shoot, but around the corner was a Dunkin' Donuts there, and I thought about getting a bunch of munchkins and bringing them back to the office, but I didn't want to bring those to the shoot. And then I'll have to carry them around the shoot and then come on back.
That's the whole thing. Kevin does bring up an interesting point. It's a story that I think we've told before, but to tell the brief version is All Star Donuts was across the street from a 7-Eleven. Both those things were 24 hours.
Yeah.
When we were middle school, high school aged, it was fun to in the middle of the night go fucking walk. You know what I mean?
When we were in high school on North Avenue out in unincorporated Glendale Heights, whatever, they opened a Krispy Kreme for the first time, and they're 24/7. So that was the same thing. Like we finished a movie at 12:30, but we're gonna play some NCAA. Let's go buy a bunch of donuts.
Exactly. So we would go and we would do that.
Backpack too, remember?
But then one day Kevin decided, and not just one day, this happened more than once, but there's one time I remember specifically where he decided to buy a gallon of chocolate milk and drink it. And he is lactose intolerant.
Super lactose intolerant.
Yeah.
And he drank
to the point where I've
thing.
literally seen him have to lay down because his stomach hurt so bad.
Yeah. I feel like this might have been one of those times. Like
He just giggles over there.
Now, in a similar story, to bring this all back to
you want
McDonald's.
Kevin to look at those glasses? I'm worried that they're going to fall
it's
apart
fine.
now.
It's just one screw was loose. To bring it back to McDonald's, we got there, and you had told us ahead of time, hey, I'm inviting everybody I know because I love everybody, but also because this place costs a lot to rent. We have to hit a very high minimum. So everybody has to drink. And so I got there and I was like, I will fucking drink, sir. And I did. I drank a lot, but I think I held it together. I didn't punch Barrett. I wanted to real bad a couple times. Didn't do it.
I want to punch him because he has my fucking anthem code. Give me back the code.
Anyways, went to McDonald's, right? And that was, we were going there. It's a big group of us. We're all partying. We've all had fun. We've all been drinking the drinks.
Did you just go to McDonald's right down the road?
Yeah, right across the street.
Yeah,
We all walked across in this
it.
giant caravan. And so I didn't realize it. It's like a bacon month or whatever at McDonald's. And so they're doing their McDonald's French fries with then the nacho cheese on it with bacon on top of that.
Fuck
and so I got that. And everybody knows Greg Miller, germaphobe. You know what I mean? I got to wash my hands a million times. I want to touch my food or find a fork. There was no time for that here. Because I was fucking housing these fries.
That's Greg Miller on a normal amount of alcohol.
Jen couldn't finish her burger, so she gave it to Andrea, and I was like, "Give it to me." I was like, I was visibly disappointed. So Andrea took one bite and gave it to her. Thank you very much. I'm a garbage man. Great times, good times. Jump ahead to me in bed. I don't know. It's 3 a.m. maybe, and it's that thing where I'm half in, half out of it. And stick with me, it's gonna sound grosser than it is, right? I had done that thing where you throw up in your mouth.
A little bit.
But it wasn't throw up, it was just stomach acid.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was sitting there half awake, trying to swallow, like coughing and like still trying to swallow. And Jen finally was like, "What is wrong?" And it was enough to kind of stir me. And I'm like, "I think I have stomach acid in my mouth, but I'm okay." And she's like, "No, you need to get up. You're just laying there and coughing and wheezing." And I woke up the next morning and it still hurts to breathe.
Yeah,
like
you
it
threw up a
burned
little
me
bit.
that bad inside. And I don't blame the beers or the McDonald's or the wings.
Probably the McDonald's.
Or I blame the cheesy bacon fries. And would I do it again if you brought some of them bad boys to me right now? Of course I would.
Yeah.
But I'm
So
just saying.
let's just put it this way. So you got so intoxicated that you ate at lunch.
I got intoxicated.
You got so drunk that you ate too much and almost threw up. because of the alcohol probably poisoning your bloodstream, and you don't blame the beer for that.
I don't blame any of it. You know what I mean? These are all choices I made.
Blame it on the rain, man.
I will blame it on the rain. I had a great time.
I had a great time too because that place. First off, the owner of that place, very nice gentleman.
Fantastic.
We're going there all the time. I was talking to. I don't know. I don't know why we haven't been there.
He was a lovely human being.
Well, I know, but I meant like more. Why don't we go there more? And I'm instituting there should be one night a week where we all just go. You know what, guys? Let's
Can
go
it be the new Squat and Gobble instead? We can go there for lunch, just hang out.
Yeah, not on Mondays. But every other day, I'm totally down to say. I'm totally down to say fuck.
Well, that was the other really cool thing. So it's Ocean Ale House, which is on Ocean Avenue.
Yeah.
And it is a place owned by two best friends that went to school with Gia. So it's like went to high school with her.
Yeah.
So it was like a whole fun in the family thing doing it there, and that like worked out really well.
So yeah,
Gia's dad was all of their principal, so like he was there too, and it was like a real fun.
Miles is his name. He's the owner. He's the coolest.
He's the one that looks like Rick Rubin.
Yes.
Yeah.
He loves Star Trek, which was huge. I got to show him my Star Trek Discovery thing. He was very impressed. But more impressive was early on, he came over and he was taking care of Andrea because Andrea, of course, got there and was like, "Do you have wine?" And she just bought a bottle, and so he just started bringing it by and filling for her glass for her. And so eventually, it was, I think, Joey. I forgot if you were at the table, but it was like me, Andrea, Jen, and maybe Joey, maybe John, and Andrea was like, so you know Gia? And he's like, yeah, it's a funny story. We went to school together, so I know her from that. But he's like, more importantly, her dad saved my life. Like, her dad was my principal, and I wasn't doing the right things or running with the good people, and he totally turned me around and all. And it was like, he got like, out of the blue, like, I'm part of it. And he got like fucking Lifetime special reel, and we're like, that's fucking awesome. You're incredible.
I just imagine there was a point where he was pointing a gun at another human being, and Gia's dad walks in and is like, there's another way. And it's like, you're right.
No, I mean, that's the funniest thing is like Gia's dad being the principal of this art school, like School of the Arts in high school in San Francisco. It was very much a like, he believes in that shit so much to this day. Like he now runs, I think, the school district in Oakland for art development and stuff. And like he just really invested in these kids. And like what's funny is he also was my brother's principal in high school, which you guys can imagine. That was like the worst times.
So when he realized that his daughter was dating a Gettys, was he like, please let it be the other one? Please let it be the other one.
No, he was stoked about it. Like that's the thing. That's the type of guy he is. He cares about these kids. Like he remembered my brother, and like it wasn't in a shit talky way.
No, but to be fair, your brother's the most memorable person I've ever met in my entire life.
That is fair. But like it's always like how's he doing? It's like, are things going well? Like it's that type of conversation. It was never like rough kid. Which I feel like a lot of principals would be. But I feel like it's like that art element that they get it. They think about things differently. But stories like that are
a dime a dozen.
I love that.
That's
so
awesome.
Cool.
That's
Tell you what, I didn't get a chance to meet him, but I did meet Gia's mom for like a couple seconds.
Yeah.
And it's like the most adorable thing because they were standing next to each other, and I'm like, you two are identical.
It's really weird.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Because Gia's little sister Jenna, right? Isn't it? It does not look like that. Like, I mean, it has similar appearance, but it has I saw. Dee was like, "Where's Gia's mom?" And I've never met her before. I think she came to one of my Cobb shows.
Yeah,
but I didn't get a chance to like spend time. I literally, that's what happened. I literally looked at her. I was like, pretty sure it's that one.
Yeah,
pretty sure it's her.
Totally
and yeah, I was right. I was spot on.
Yeah, that's so funny.
So my question for you, Tim, is how far back does this go? When does it start? Because that was when Gia asked me, when she finally ran into me, she was like, "Oh my God, it's okay. How long have you known?" And I was like, "Well, months, but I'm not even sure what you know, so I'm not even gonna say anything."
Yeah. No, this has been a plan for a very long time at this point. Like, the quick version is it was a year ago. Like a year ago in around March, like her grandma started doing really bad. And it like came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And they're very, 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 very close. And I was like, I gotta fucking do this before something happens. Like I know how much that means to her or whatever. So it really like got me into motion. And I was like, I told you guys like immediately, this is happening. I hit up her sister. We went ring shopping. Like we found everything. Like it was just like really fast process. But then things went from bad to worse like immediately. And it became clear like that plan was not feasible to get done in that timeline. So that really sucked. But then at that point, I'm like, well, might as well do this. Like
I remember, most of
the legwork is done. So it's like,
but that was the thing that I found. Obviously, you impress me every day, but impressive about that is that you were like, I'm Tim Gettys, and I usually do things the Tim Gettys way, which everyone who watches Kind of Funny Live knows. But because of this, you were prepared just to go down there and do it.
Absolutely.
Make that dream come true.
I think that's the most important takeaway from this is like for years, people have been like, what are you going to do for Gia? Or anytime I do a big proposal for a friend or a Kind of Funny Live thing or whatever, everyone's like, man, if you keep pushing the ante like higher and higher and higher. Like, what are you going to do for her? And I was like, you guys, you don't get it. Like, the proposals, all proposals, they're not about going big. They're about doing the right thing for that person. For that person.
Yep,
and
I
it's
agree.
like Shari, who is Curran's wife.
Wanted
weird.
Curran to dance on top of a tiger. And that's what
exactly. But that's the thing is like she wanted a viral
She wanted
video.
higher
She
balloon
wanted
Disney.
that. And like not so many people. That's not fair. A couple people over time have given me shit in the comments of the current proposal video, being like, Tim's just doing this to get famous. Tim's just whatever. It's like, dude, first off, yeah, like that is something that I love to do. So like, there's no shame in that. But on the other side, Shari wanted that.
Yeah.
She wanted this viral BuzzFeed production, and we gave her that. You know, Gia did not want that. Gia wanted something that was intimate to her, that like that was obviously really key to us, and like all this stuff. And that's why I did this. Every single thing in that was for her, like every single thing. And I knew a while ago she was talking to Shari and all her friends who were doing all the things, all the weddings and stuff that I've been going to the last couple of years. And eventually it clicked for her. She's like, I want it filmed. Like she was like, all of her friends told her like, you black out when it's happening. Like your boyfriend's talking to you and you don't know what they're saying because like you're just like, holy shit, this is happening, and you just forget. And she's like, I need the video. I want to be able to go back and watch it. So for me, I'm like, I need to get a video just for her. Right. Like that was the plan. And I was like, of course I'm going to film it in case like it is good enough to post. And then I put it on her entirely. And she was like, so when are we posting it? And I was just like, hey, we don't need to post. Like I made this for you. And she was like, no. We're fucking sharing this. And I was like, that's my girl. Let's go, baby.
That's a good video.
So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. But
so was this version 1 of the plan? Obviously, I'm sorry. Was this version 2? The version 1 was to do it in
that
front
was
of
version
grandma.
1. Version 2 was something I came up with, I would say last like May or so, that I was like really looking into doing, and it ended up not being feasible. But because I was thinking, I was like, all right, what means a lot to me and her? It's like being from San Francisco, both of us, like that really is core to our identity as a couple. And I was like, what's the most San Francisco thing possible?
Rice and roni.
The Golden Gate Bridge. And I was like, I'm going to do it on the fucking top of the Golden Gate Bridge. And my plan was, I'm going to walk up to the top of it, and I'm going to get drones to fucking film it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, how damn cool would that be?
Nothing. What could go wrong?
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong?
It looks like the Green Goblins attacking Golden Gate Bridge.
Turns out, you can't climb up there.
Yeah.
And I thought of it, and
Didn't The Bachelor screw that up?
So The Bachelor, ironically, fucked it up for me.
That and A View to a Kill, great Bond movie.
Kind of. So there was a date on The Bachelor years ago before I watched, where they did it, but it was on the Bay Bridge.
Okay.
They did a date where they walked up there. And I don't know the fucking Bay Bridge.
Wait, what is that? How'd that fuck it up?
It's ugly as fuck.
Did somebody jump?
No one jumped, but it was like it
Someone peed off
publicized
the
it.
side.
So they actually offered it as a service for a while that people can go on dates and like go do it. But then some weird city ordinance happened or some shit, and they're like, no, we can't.
Well,
fucking
someone
do this
somewhere was
anymore.
like, that's fucking crazy. Don't let people do that. People
Yeah.
are stupid and they'll fall off. And then someone's like,
Fair.
yeah,
But I
solid
mean,
call.
But it's not falling off. It's like
You're harnessed.
You're really harnessed in. Like,
Still, I'm sure someone was like, this is a huge liability that we should
Sure.
it's not
Absolutely.
worth the money.
That's what happened.
To have people do this.
regardless, I tried really hard. I called the city, talked to them, talked to multiple people. And I
Talked
was
to the
like,
mayor?
I pretty much was like, at one point, and I knew this wasn't really going to help, but I was like, I don't give a fuck how much it cost. Name a price. Like,
Damn.
what would it be?
Baller as fuck.
And I just wanted to hear what they would say.
That's
like
how
$2
baller
million.
feels.
You're like, nope, that's too much. I don't
Yeah,
know.
exactly.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
It was one of those
I was
things
thinking
where,
like a grand. Can I do like a grand?
Yeah, I just wanted to know if they
Yeah.
had an answer, and they were pretty much like, "There's no amount that we can do this." And I was like, "Fuck, okay." So I had to start like changing the plan. But something that I did learn from that is there's these fucking crazy parkour people that are insane. They're stupid. They should not be doing this. But if you're interested in seeing some crazy ass videos, YouTube climbing the Golden Gate Bridge.
Nope.
There's people that just fucking go out at night and climb up and then hang off of it.
Nope.
And like do all this
Sweaty
crazy
palms.
ass,
No,
dumbass
thanks.
bullshit. And I'm like, y'all crazy, but they have GoPros on them.
Yep.
It's really intense looking.
No,
I'm
I don't like
"Would've
this.
been
I don't
dope
even
to-"
like you describing this to
Yeah,
me right now.
I know.
Stop. Just stop it.
But that was idea one. And then idea two, it was sometime after that. I want to say maybe August, where we were in an Uber together, and the Uber driver was like, "Oh, where are you guys from?" And we're both like, "Oh, we're from San Francisco." He's like, I've been driving here for 7 years or whatever, and I've never had two natives in the car at once. Like, that's insane. And we're like, yeah. And he's like, where's your favorite place?
You're like, maybe Uber driver, it's because they're fucking lying to you because they don't want to tell you where they're from. Because you're prying into their personal life.
I doubt that. But he was like, where's your favorite place in San Francisco? And then I mentioned some bullshit about like somewhere.
Gordo's, but this one, the good one.
Exactly. 18
Senoras, but the one that got hit by a car.
R.I.P. man. What a fucking adventure that was. But then her favorite place without a beat, she's like Alcatraz. And he's like, what? Really? And he was like, I've never been. I was like, I've never been either. That's weird. And she's like, I've been 9 times.
That is so like.
She loves.
If
true
you
crime.
had said true,
I was
true
gonna
or
say
false,
so on brand.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense, but like from the true crime aspect. But if you just said true or false, Gia Harris loves Alcatraz Island. I'd be like, false. No way.
Dude,
they don't serve wine. They don't. It's not her kind of thing.
They serve wine on the way back.
Well, there you go. Well, I didn't know that. There you
I don't
go.
know what.
She knew.
You know me. I'm Greg Miller. I don't like stereotypes, right? You might think a man this size wouldn't want to take his shirt off, but I do every goddamn second of the
Some
day.
say he shouldn't want to take his shirt off.
I don't know what it is about our generation of women that are so obsessed with true crime.
It's sexy.
And documentaries and podcasts about brutal murders. My wife, Joey, Gia, Lucy James
of
the
their
other night was
friends.
like, oh my God.
Yeah, no, it's.
I mean, you know that I'm obsessed with
Frasier.
fake crime. Like I like detective shows that are just dumb and very, very, very easy to figure out who did it. So I guess the same thing.
I guess it's the same thing.
Maybe.
Oh, is Stogie making an appearance right now?
I don't know. I think Stogie might just be Kevin now. I don't know. I'm mixing up a lot of my
All
impressions
Stogie does
of
is
you.
remember he goes, Stogie.
Stogie.
While Tim Pease, let me tell you about our sponsor. The Kind of Funny podcast is brought to you by Robinhood. Robinhood is an investing app that lets you buy and sell stocks, ETFs, options, cryptos, all commission-free. While other brokerages charge up to $10 for every trade, Robinhood doesn't charge any commission fees, so you can trade stocks and keep all of your profits. Plus, there is no account minimum deposit needed to get started, so you can start investing at any level. The simple, intuitive design of Robinhood makes investing easy for newcomers and experts alike. View easy to understand charts and market data and place a trade in just 4 taps on your smartphone. You can also view stocks by collections and collections such as 100 most popular. With Robinhood, you can learn how to invest in the market as you build your portfolio. Discover new stocks, track your favorite companies, and get custom notifications for price movements so you never miss the right moment to invest. Robinhood is giving listeners of Kind of Funny's podcast, this one, the Kind of Funny podcast, a free stock like Apple, Ford, or Sprint to help you build your portfolio. Sign up at greggy.robinhood.com. That camera, not that camera. My bad. Love you. That was good. We had to read if I say so myself.
Man, you crushed that.
I wish you...
Hard to believe that Kevin exploded. Are we going to do that? Insert Kevin exploding.
Oh, yeah, but don't worry, Cool Greg. I'll yell for you.
What's Cool Greg want? What's happening?
He wants if we want beers.
Oh.
No, you know, I like to party sometimes.
beer.
I like to party sometimes. Oh, yeah. I got you. Good. Cool Greg, come on here real quick and model this outfit you're wearing, by the way. Because this is a hell of an ensemble. I love it. This is the North Face, whatever. It's the
NorCal,
puff jacket or vest I brought back from Dice.
Oh.
They gave Jen the wrong size, and so I brought it back thinking nobody would wear it. Cool Greg's wearing it, and he's killing it. This is an amazing look for you. You need to wear it. And Sasha makes Christmas sweater.
So I want you to know this.
Oh yeah.
My wife is very enamored of you.
Who is it?
She likes you very much. She likes you very much. We saw you. She was like, wait, like this is how much my wife loves you. We're walking out of the thing. We're tired. We've been on a 6-hour flight, up early in the morning prior to do press for all this stuff. And walking out, and she goes, and she remembered because I told her like a day earlier that it's Cool Greg's birthday. And she goes, wait a minute, was it really Cool Greg's birthday today? And I was like, yeah, definitely. Like, yeah, because that was the thing that Tim told everyone to tell Gia that we were all going to your birthday party. She's like, wait, I didn't get to say happy birthday to Cool Greg. And I was like, oh, I'll tell him you said that. She goes, no, he's right there. Let's get out of the car and go say what's up to him. So we got out and said what's up to you. And she was like, I like that, Cool Greg. And I'm like, but on the way up, though, this is the point. I was like, don't pay him any compliments. Don't talk about anything about him.
All right, you guys, you get 5 minutes with Mr. Gettys, but don't look him in the eye.
Don't talk about any of his physical appearance, the beard, the hair, the eyes, nothing. Okay? Or Ann Gettys will fucking Facebook message me and be like, why did you do that? Now he's changing everything.
Appreciate that, man. I was excited to see her there because that's a rare one.
It's a rare.
Yeah, that is a rare.
She is the snow
leopard. That's a shiny Pokemon for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
When we got there and we were hanging out before Gia and Tim arrived, I was sitting there and I was talking to somebody, and I heard Ann Gettys. yelling at me. And I turned around, I was like, oh, hey, and I went over, hey, and I crashed and I was talking to her, and I was having a conversation, everything was fine. She was talking about how she gets choked up, when big stuff like this happens, so she's, excited for this, yada, yada. And literally without missing a beat, she's like, well, Greg, oh my God! And I was like, who the fuck James Burke walked in.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, well, I'm staged by James Burke from WWE Review. All right, I'll talk to you later.
She's a very big, very big.
Who isn't a big?
A quick mom story. God, I'm not going to get into too many. The one that I need to tell is she got in an Uber on the way to go home. I put her in an Uber so it was on my account so I could see what's going on. She currently, right now, does not have a cell phone.
Oh my God.
We're trying to get
I thought it was going to be she currently right now still has not gotten home. We don't know where the Uber went. It's just been circling McDonald's for 18 hours straight.
It's a whole thing.
It's up in Washington.
This is the most my mom fucking story ever. It's like, so I walk her out, get her in the thing, and she's kind of disabled in a lot of ways, so has issues getting into cars and stuff. So I had to help her in, and then I looked at the Uber driver and I was like, "Hey, I'm sorry to ask you this, but when you get to her house, can you help her out of the car and whatever?" And he was like, he gives me the thumbs up. Didn't say anything.
Yeah, he does not. He was not paying attention, and he's high out of his fucking mind.
She got home fine. That's fine. Whatever. But about 5 minutes later, once they take off, I get back into the party. I'm talking to people. I get a call from a random number. I knew it was her. I just fucking knew it. It's my mom, terrified, talking to me. Hey, I don't know where I am. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Great. And I was like, Mom, I'm looking at where you're at. You're on the way home. She goes, no, I don't recognize these streets. And I'm like, okay, yeah, they're taking some back roads, but you're 7 minutes out from home. It's fine. No, I've grown up here my entire life. I know San Francisco. I don't think I'm in San Francisco. I'm like, Mom, you left 5 minutes ago. There's not many places
be in San Francisco.
Be. And I was
unless he's driving at the speed of light. You're still somewhere in the San Francisco County.
And she was just are you sure? Are you sure? I'm like, no, you're totally fine. I'm looking at this. And I was like, can I just talk to the Uber driver for 1 second?
And Tim flip the car.
The next thing I hear is just him go, oh, sorry, no English. And I'm like, oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Here we go.
But now I'm willing to bet that guy spoke English.
Oh, yeah.
I heard all this shit happen. Was like, I'm not getting involved in this shit. I'm just taking this one where I'm supposed to go.
Eventually, he hands it back to her. And I'm like, Mom, trust me, you're going to be okay. And she was totally fine. But it was just one of those things where
Let me speak to James Burke.
I don't trust you. Get Burke on the phone.
Oh, God.
Ask him what he thinks about the next season of the Giants.
True. That's what
that is true. He would do that.
But she got home safe and sound.
She did get home safe, yeah. So
okay.
that was good.
Yeah.
But always a treat.
So where did you hide the ring? How long did you have the ring? Because you picked it out.
I had it a long time. I was going to say. So I had it sent to Kern and Shari's house.
I was going to say it has to be Kern and Shari, and it has to be hidden in the most ornate, elaborate place. My guess was around the corgi's neck. The entire time, just like Men in Black, where they're like, the galaxy's on Orion's belt.
You can kill us,
nobody
but you'll never
fucking
find
knew
the
cat was Orion. I was like, oh shit, the cat's name was Orion.
That's hilarious. No, the tax was significantly cheaper, and it's a big purchase, so tax is a lot of money. And I was like, I want to save as much as possible there, so I sent it to Daly City, where Kern and Shari live. So it's cheaper than San Francisco.
So they saved you on local sales tax or state sales tax for that?
I don't know.
Because usually you have to send something out of state to get the tax break.
Yeah, no.
But also, if you pay in cash, apparently anything goes at some of these jewelers. So
they showed me the numbers, the difference it would have been, and it was significant. The lady was telling me, she's like, "Do you know anyone in Daly City? Because it'll really help you." And I was like, "I do."
That's very weird, but cool.
Yeah, so that worked out.
Why there instead of Kevin's house? Because Kevin lives in Daly City, doesn't he?
I don't have a place where packages get dropped off. That's why I get all my packages sent here.
Yeah,
that's exactly that's the reason. That's the reason.
But then they had it.
Is just Batman.
Eats it, throws it up, eats it again.
But then after that, once I got it, it was real simple. It was just like
high shelf. She'll never find it.
That's actually
put it in a bag of Doritos. She'll never find it.
What?
Cheetos? Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Well, any snacks.
Does she eat the Doritos?
She'll
pop chips, man.
When Danielle found out that
has a problem,
when Dee figured out that Gia eats Cheetos with a chopstick, she was like, "Fuck, that's genius."
Yeah,
that is fucking genius.
I would say I don't know if you call my Instagram stories soon to be verified. I was clowning out the hot Cheetos you guys left after KFAF with chopsticks.
I'm gonna tell you one thing right now. I started laughing. Maybe at I want to say 9 o'clock at night, and we were walking home, and Danielle was like, what are you laughing at? I was like, oh, we were real tired. And Greg brought over a box of Cheez-Its, and then he literally ate 3/4 of it and then leaned over to me on a podcast. I was like, I'm fucking housing these Cheez-Its. And I was like, that's a great term. We need to bring that term back.
Yeah, that's a good old Mizzou one. That's a good old one.
Dude, no, housing was like 90. We used to say we were housing shit in the 90s for sure.
Well, it's very specific. It's very like, I house those Cheez-Its and I house those cheese fries, all right?
Fuck those things up.
You can eat food, but you can, if you're housing, that's another level.
House is like you're almost abusing the food. It's like you're just fucking someone up that just started playing Smash and you're like 8 years in.
Yeah,
you're just housing that motherfucker.
Exactly. So you moved into your house eventually, you said?
When I moved into my house, I just moved it into like my drawers that had like USB cables and shit.
Gotcha.
There's no way she'll ever go in this. But then a couple days ago, she's decided to clean drawers. And I see her there, and I'm like, I knew she wasn't gonna go in my drawers, but I was like, just to be safe. Like, she walked to the kitchen, so I ran and grabbed it, and
just gotta boof it up the butt. He's like, oh, she's like, what are you sitting on? He's like, it's almost.
It came in a big ass box because it was all this like certification and all this like shit. So it's like I kept it all together.
So it didn't look like a ring at glance.
Yeah, I know.
Keep that for insurance purposes.
And then I took it, and then to hide it, my next hiding place was in between all my MeUndies.
Smart. That's a good one.
And it was just like, oh man, it was so soft.
I'm trying to think of where I hid
her
ring. I can't remember. How the fuck did I do that?
Tyroot, probably.
No. God, no. Tyroot, when I used to live with Tyroot, I would find mail in the freezer. I'm like, who the fuck put mail in the freezer? It was like chicken breasts and then like my PG&E bill. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
How did you propose? I know this story. I just don't remember.
Again, going back to your theme of it's not the grand gesture, it's how the person wants. I took her up to a very, very expensive hotel room in Napa. We stayed the weekend, and right before we went to a very, very expensive meal at Bouchon, we all got ready and everything was good, and I looked at her, I was like, you look fantastic, but one thing's missing.
That's great.
Baller move.
And then I got down, and it was lovely. And to your point of you should absolutely film it, she didn't say anything for an hour.
Yeah.
And we like she was fine. She's like nodded her head yes, was crying, and then was very stoic for about 45 minutes to the point where the waitress was like, "Are you okay?
Do I need to get help?"
I'm like, babe, you gotta like perk up a little bit. These people are gonna think that I kidnapped you and like I'm taking you on the last meal of your life, or I fucking cut off your head or something crazy. So yeah, we did that, and she was just like beside herself. She was like, and she knew it was coming because unlike you. It was very uncharacteristic for me to be like, let's go spend some money in Napa right now. She was like, oh god, okay, he's gonna ask me.
Oh, okay.
So she knew. In the history of our 12 years being together, I have never suggested that we go away for a weekend in Napa. Never. Because the one thing I hate is spending money. And number two is like sitting out in sun with my shirt off. I don't like either of those things.
You've come around on that. You're drawn to it now.
Now I love my body.
Yeah.
And now I'm willing to take my shirt off at the drop of a hat, drop of a dime. But yeah, so that's what I did for that. And it was great. And we spent the whole weekend together and ate like our asses off. We had a great meal and came back. And
that is the most baller line of all time.
Yeah, that's really good. That's really, really good.
That's so tight.
Yeah, I was pretty proud of myself for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was fun. Cool. There's something very like unique about the entire process of proposing to someone. Mm-hmm. Not the least of which is I used to, we've talked about this before, but I used to think that like the idea of the wedding ring, and I was like, that's kind of a sham because you got to spend all this money. Totally I get what it is now. I get why it exists, because when I bought my wife's ring, I paid for an installment, so I paid for the first half, and then they made it, and then I bought the next half. Saw the ring, gave them money, right? But that first half was more money than I'd ever spent on anything in my entire life.
Yeah.
And that was just half of the ring. Mm-hmm. And I handed them the check, and it was very much that thing of like I held on to it for just a second, and I let it go. And when I did, it was that realization that I'm like, oh, okay, I'm committed to this now. I get this now. Mm-hmm. And when I got the ring back, because diamonds, like you're paying a probably 1,000% markup for that thing. If Gia had said no, God willing, I'm glad she wouldn't have.
God willing.
But sorry, not God willing. God forbid, she did. God forbid. Thank you. That's what I'm looking for. God willing, she doesn't make that fucking terrible mistake. She's married to Kevin now. If she had said no, that you would have been like, fuck, you're fucked. Like you would have had to sell that ring back for like a 100% or actually probably 500% loss. So when you hand that money over, it really is a gut check moment where you're like, oh, I'm fucking doing this. Yeah. And I totally get why that exists now. because I was, I mean, it's a big commitment, and you have to make sure you are. And there's nothing like that hits me harder than a financial commitment. I'm getting my fucking money's worth out of this marriage now. Yeah. I'm staying married for at least 20 years.
You want donuts and Taco Bell? Whatever.
I'm in my mind. I'm amortizing that ring over how many years it takes to get it like down to a reasonable amount.
Diminishing returns. Yeah, I'm like,
how much for $500 a fucking year? I gotta stay married for 100 years.
I remember when you first got married and or first were even engaged and all that stuff was going on, and like we'd go to lunch together all the time at IGN. Like you would tell me about it, and I was so young then, I had no married friends at all, and like I had no concept of wedding ring prices or anything. And I remember you told me like a price, and I was like, I couldn't comprehend that anything could cost that.
Especially something that can be lost that easily.
And it just blew my mind. And then, but I remember you told me something. It was one of the most wise Nick Scarpino-isms ever, where you're just like, dude, it sounds fucking crazy. And you told me the story about like, the money. Yeah. You're just like, she looks at it every single day. And it's like, all of a sudden, it's like, it is the best purchase I ever made. She's had this thing for 2 days, and I already feel that.
Oh, yeah.
I just keep cashing. I'm just like, you fucking
She will.
This.
Even to this day, I've been married for coming up on 7 years, and every once in a while, I'll just catch her. It's not like a obvious thing, but every once in a while, it's just a little.
Yeah.
It's just look at a little adjustment, look at it, a little sparkle.
When it's clean.
I'll come home and get clean.
Jen will get it clean, and then like we'll be in a plane, and it'll catch, and I'll see her playing with the light.
She's just, I mean, it's that thing. Like again, you need to get, for anyone listening to this thinking, oh my god, I got to spend time on it. You don't have to do it. You just got to get them something they love, and know that you're getting them the thing they want, because that's important, right? Similar to how you proposed to Gia, like you did it in a way that you thought she would want, not how you would want to necessarily do it. And that's important for the ring as well.
And
like
the ring, trust me, this is not the ring I would have got. Thank God, I have horrible taste, and it would be what you guys expect.
A blue stone.
It would be the one diamond shaped like Mickey Mouse.
Yeah. Like it spins, goes.
You can lick it and it tastes different every time.
We were me and her sister were at the ring place, and I'm just looking at all these ones, and I'm like, yeah, but like, I felt like the meme of the guy and his girlfriend looking at the other girl.
Boyfriend.
Yeah. I'm just like but that one though, and I wasn't gonna fucking do it. I knew what she wanted, and it's like very simple, very very Gia.
Are you retconning me out of all the ring stories?
Naturally.
Kevin came with. I needed Kevin for the diamond approval, like because he knows that shit because he's Kevin.
Sure,
duh.
He's got. Well,
he's been through the process.
Jenna knew the ring size. Jenna knew the style. Jenna knew all that stuff. Kevin knew
beautiful stone you
fucking
picked.
fan. It's beautiful.
What's the clarity rank on that, Kevin?
Oh, that's a VVS 2 for sure. Maybe VVS
VVS 2, VVS 3.
It's one, baby. It's fucking one.
That is.
Fucking
there are no blemishes that I can see with my naked bare eye.
We're talking about that D clarity. You know what I mean? Them C's are looking good. That's all I'm saying. D-color. Fuck. I don't know.
Fucking idiot.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Clown shoes operation.
When I got it and I was looking at it, I'm like, this is cool and all. And I was like walking around my house and like looking at different lights and shit. I'm like, it's fine, but like
when sunlight
whatever.
hits it and you're driving and it shoots at your eye, you just watch out for that shit. Paulus does that all the time.
But once I saw it on her, that's when it all changed. I'm like, oh my god, this thing is beautiful.
Yeah,
and it was cool. And I don't know how much of it is just being on her, and also she's so tiny, so it makes it look super big.
Yeah.
It's dope. Big fan of that.
Well, that's good. I'm glad. I'm glad.
No, it's really cool. The two more things I want to say about this. One of them, thank you all for your support and being so nice and positive in the video. And we've been getting texts and tweets and DMs and everything all day. And something that I keep seeing coming up that makes me feel really happy and proud of us as a community is so many people on Reddit and Facebook and just in my Twitter are just like, the best friend thing is so real that I feel like one of my best friends just got engaged. And I'm so fucking stoked and I'm so fucking ready. And I'm like, that's so cool. You know, it's like that we've built this where it's like, there is that shared feeling of like having all of that. And then the other side of it is, man, let me tell you something. If there's one thing every relationship needs, it's communication. Yeah. Love and Sex Stuff is returned. Yep. You got the experts. We're giving you everything you need every Tuesday.
Coming out of the gates hot with the first ever episode. Can you masturbate too much?
The answer might surprise you.
On roosterteeth.com, the first episode of Love and Sex Stuff is Tim's proposal. So.
Let's go, baby.
Great.
Let's fucking go.
Get him in.
But with that, like, this is such a perfect example in my last year with Gia of communication being important and how hard it can get when you're not communicating correctly or when things are going on. What I mean by this is we've gotten in so many fights over the last year. That's not true. We've gotten in about 4 fights. Like, but big fights.
That's enough.
Our only like real actual arguments were about proposals and engagements and stuff. And it was never the why haven't you done it? It was never the like, I'm fucking waiting, like what's going on, that I know a lot of other people have to deal with. It was always, you're not prioritizing this at all. You are prioritizing Kind of Funny, you're prioritizing so many different things, but like this seems like it's not even something that you're planning towards. And anytime I would talk about dates, I was always be like, couple years away, you know, whatever. And it's like, because I had to long con knowing that I had this plan. So for the last year, I had to fight against myself, where she'd bring this stuff up and I had to be like, yeah, and that's what you're talking about, always adding a month. Where I'd be like, it's so 2021 now.
So
you know what I mean? And knowing that like,
nothing's more romantic than psychological torture.
So that's the thing is, I had to fucking fight against myself. But that was what I'm talking about with this communication. It's like I was lying. There was a bad situation, and that caused a lot of issues.
Do you think that on some level, though, it was like bittersweet because you were like, every time she started yelling, you're like, I'm gonna put this one back in the box because you're gonna eat your words so hard on this, Gia.
And honestly, there was a couple times, and I'm so happy that I didn't do anything even close to this. But like, there was a couple times I was just like, I have a plan. It's gonna happen, and I didn't. I still lied. And I stuck to my guns, and I'm so happy because she now is just like, holy shit. And like she now sees like there's like proof of like dates on stuff of like the ring box has a date on it. She's like, oh my God. She's like, we've gotten 2 fights after that about this.
You're like, I'm tough.
You know, and so like she totally gets it. But yeah, it's important. It's very important to like to listen and to care and to prioritize people. Like I think that's such a key takeaway message that I knew and I was doing it. But it's like you gotta do that stuff. Like,
but Evil Tim had to fight against
Evil Tim had to fight. For the good of the video.
What did Ragnarok Tim do?
Oh man, I don't even know, man. That was a
Ragnarok Tim got slept on Sunday.
I'm sure it's a question you're already sick of hearing. But what's the plan? When are you getting married?
So this is there's full transparency with everybody. Like my whole thing here is like, this is happening. I want to buy a house so that like we have stuff because like ideally for me, like given the situation of my life and how things are going, I want a house that I can move my mom into. So like it'll make everything better if that's going on.
Yeah,
she is totally down with that plan. That's what's going on.
Does that mean Cool Greg gets to live with you too?
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Does that
when do
have
we
you thought about moving Kevin in?
This is a show we need to have on Kind of Funny.
Because if you put Kevin Paul in there and then Uncle Nick stops by every once in a while, this is like the best episode of
Everybody
Full House
complains
ever.
that houses are expensive in San Francisco, but what if we just buy one really big one? We all move into it.
Yeah,
you know,
my wife will still live in our apartment, but I'll live in with you guys. My wife has no fucking way she's living with all you guys.
No way. But anyway, so that's the next step, and we're not getting married until that happens at the very least. But like we're tentatively looking at minimum of 2 years from now.
Okay, I think it's fine. I mean, honestly, having a long engagement's lovely.
I know,
and it's and I think that now. I mean, I don't want to speak for Gia, but I think for D, it was more about like, hey, are you going to commit? And once we did, that took a lot of the pressure off of like, okay, I already got the ring. Like he's already. Well, I know Nick. He's frugal. He's amortizing this out. He's gonna marry me because otherwise he's not getting any return on this investment. So yeah, she was. So that's good. You guys can enjoy it. Enjoy the engagement.
And then the
get
other
used to the idea that you're now someone's fiance. You can refer to. She's not your girlfriend anymore. Now she's your affiance.
Yeah. But the realness of it, and like I've told her this. She knows this. This is not news to anybody. I am not stupid. I know that I'm engaged now, which means. Now the thing's taken down to the wedding, right? Then what after the wedding? What happens?
Oh yeah,
babies.
Then it's fucking babies.
Then Kevin comes. Then you got to figure out how to get legal releases for Kevin to film in the hospital with his giant tongs.
Seeing him as a doctor.
And also,
with the thing,
if I'm writing the skit, it goes over and you think it's Kevin. It's not Kevin. It's Getchell. And you're like, where'd Kevin go? And you look in the other room and he's delivering a baby. No, I was going to say he's delivering someone else's baby. He is coming out of Gia like, I got it firsthand.
Wow, that escalated. Escalated.
You took it there. I just wrote
I did not take it there, sir.
I did not, sir.
You escalated that.
It's so funny.
We're proud of you, Tim.
Thank you.
Congratulations on pulling this off.
Cool as
Good
hell,
job.
man.
Good
I
job.
feel really good about it.
I'm glad. I think we're in a good place too. Cool, Greg.
Beer clock.
I need assistance here.
Is it beer 30?
No, there's just something I need to talk about as well. Something I need to bring to the table from my life. It's not about you. Don't worry. Don't worry.
I know.
You.
I did notice there was a big box that
Thank
said
you.
4 Kind of Funny podcasts.
Yeah, that's right.
Do
That's
not
right.
open.
I don't like this. There's always like my biggest fear. I run down a rank of what
one
this
of the
could be.
goddamn Bonums.
No, this isn't a Bonham related.
Bonems.
The thing is this, the thing that the audio listeners and video listeners at home, if you don't understand, is Greg is capable of literally anything. Like I'm waiting one day for there to be something live come out of this thing. Like a small human being or a small animal, or Kevin again somehow is in the box.
Okay.
I hope this is how you announce that you get a new puppy. You just bring it in.
That's how you like it?
Yeah.
I'm afraid it's a bigger deal than that, Joey. We're talking about our futures.
That means
here.
it's not a bigger deal than that.
You guys getting engaged, right?
Is Burt Meg in the fucking box?
Oh, I've been stuck in here forever.
3 weeks.
No, I want to talk about the future of the Millers. Mm-hmm. Genevieve and Greg Miller.
Okay.
All right, you know what I'm saying here? That's what I'm talking about. As you know, I was anti-children.
Yeah.
For forever.
Yeah, you and I used to
forever.
be, you were so cool back then too, because you and I used to talk shit about kids so much. Exactly. It was so fun.
Well, a lot of kids suck. My kid will be cool. Don't worry about that. So that's the thing. It's talking about planning our future, right? And getting babies and having babies, right? I'll have you know, in the box is the entire run of the Playmobil Ghostbuster toys. I had reached out to Playmobil to see if they would send. To be clear, Jen not pregnant, and no timetable right now in place of when we'll actually have children. But I reached out to Playmobil and I was like, would you please send me all of these for my unborn, unconceived children?
Yeah.
And they said, sure. So what they did, they went even further than it. They had misunderstood what I wanted. Because they said, sure, we'll send them in. Hold on.
Nick.
I have no.
Would you have ever guessed this is what was happening?
No, but I should have. Because with Greg, you don't know. So are these the things that go above the kids' thing, or what is this?
No, it's Playmobil toys.
What
Like
the
they're
hell?
toys for
Baby
kids.
Legos.
Yeah, baby Legos.
Yeah. So like what? So
let me ask you this real question, Greg. Let's get down to the fucking nuts and bolts of this. Are these for your unborn child, or will Big Greg Miller be playing with these later when he gets home?
Now, Nick, I love the way you think. So here's what's happened, ladies and gentlemen, is when I reached out to the good people at Playmobil about this and was like, hey, you don't owe me a goddamn thing. But I'm gonna have kids one day. I have a lovely story here with my wife. I'm afraid of you discontinuing the line, them getting sold out. Also, I don't want to spend the money. Would you be down to send me the entire run of your amazing Playmobil Ghostbuster toys? I don't know if you're an audio listener, you deserve to turn on the YouTubes here and look at it, because you got Stay Puft here. We got the hot dog cart with Slimer. We got Dana. We got Dana and Pete there, right? You got over here. Ecto 1's in here. I'll unbox that in a second. And they were like, sure. What we're interested in, of course, I should say Firehouse is in here.
Man, I mean, no, not only do you have Dana, but you have Gozer and Gozer that goes, no, yeah.
Now,
I just bust out the giant Firehouse, right?
How long has this been out?
So good question, Kev. Thank you. I appreciate that. Ghostbusters, the Playmobil line of the Ghostbusters movie #1 has been out for a year, maybe even more, right? And so that was my thing, is I had been doing playful tweets for a while with them. Hey, it'd be cool if I got these for my unborn unconceived children. Hey, Playmobil, I like Ghostbusters a lot, and they didn't work. So finally, again, I know how toys work. Eventually, they're not going to be making these things anymore. I rolled the dice, Joe, and I just DM'd them. I was like, hey, I really like Ghostbusters.
You are the most ballsy human being I know.
I'm probably gonna have kids one day if everything works downstairs. So why don't you just send me all of the Ghostbusters toys? To which they didn't answer. But then I got an email saying, we love this idea. We'll do it. We'll send you some of the Ghostbusters toys. And I said, no, send me all of the Ghostbusters toys for my children. And they're like, cool. And you'll unbox them on the show. Hold on. They said, you'll unbox them on the show. And I said, well, no, I want to give them to my unborn, unconceived children when the day comes. And I said, but what about this? What if you sent me an extra Firehouse and Ecto 1? I'll unbox those on the show. And they said, oh, hell yeah, boy. Oh, hell yeah. Kevin, we got 2 Firehouses and 2 Ecto 1s. Now, what I was talking about when I looked at the paperwork, right, is that there was a miscommunication in my favor, like Monopoly, right, from the Playmobil warehouse. They sent 2 everything. We got 2 Stay Puffs. We got 2. So finally, I can just do it. I can just open it up and get in there. You know what I mean? Look at that. It's Egon. Do you remember Egon? He's back in Playmobil
Oh my God,
form.
he's got a pompadour. He looks like Elvis.
Wow.
These are awesome.
This is what I'm talking about. And so here's where it gets even better. Right? I was like, I need this for my unborn, unconceived children, right? And they were like, we understand. Do you have requests? And I said, well, no, I need it all. And they're like, okay, you understand that we've also done other lines. Would you like those too? And I said, yes. And they said, should we send them all at once? And I said, no, please space them out a month apart.
What are the other lines?
Why would you say that?
Because I didn't want to.
Why do you have the space for this?
Why do one piece of content when I can do 3?
Oh
we
my
can do
God.
Ghostbuster Playmobil unboxings until we die now.
Oh
Do you
my-
understand?
well-
We can corner the market for people who don't have children but want to buy toys for their children.
Listen, there's a very specific market for people that don't yet have children but want to reach out to companies to
Look
ask
at
them
how
to send
cool the
you
Ecto
free-
1 is, all right? For a second. And I'm not trying to talk shit about Kenner's the real Ghostbusters, right? But look how good that Ecto 1
I mean, it
looks.
sounds like you are trying to talk shit about Kenner's.
No, they did a great job for back in the day, but these are better. And so we have an entire line for this. And so yeah, they're gonna send Ghostbusters 2 in a month. Then they're gonna send the real Ghostbusters. Then there's some cool things coming up. I don't know if they've been announced that they might send 2. So I'm working here. And so I just want to talk about it.
It's clear.
Little Greggies, if you see this one day, Dad died, chicken wing accident, but you were already conceived. I hope you enjoy these. All right?
Move over a little to your left.
It's like that. This is like that Michael Keaton movie that
Big.
made me, My Life. Remember where he's making the videos for his kid
And Nicole Kidman gets all mad at him. She goes,
she's
"Wait,
like, what are you doing? He's
Why
like,
would you make this and not tell me about it? I want to be part
She's
of
like,
it."
it's for my kid. You fucking. Why do you have to be a part of everything?
Why can I have one moment of
Can I
peace?
just have- I think I'm dying of cancer.
dying of weird cancer
Jesus
or whatever he
Christ.
was dying of. I don't remember.
Let me have a life.
So I'm gonna open up the Ecto 1.
It's
Opening these
battery
so we
powered.
are opening these because I
Well,
thought
we have to
because
be very careful.
You know, there's a part of your brain that wants to keep all these mint in box.
Well, I think I want to stick with the original plan of opening I'm gonna open the Ecto 1.
Okay.
Maybe a Firehouse, maybe keep it. Now that we have doubles of everything, you just have multiple kids.
I mean, we could change out some of the stuff back there too. We could put
You
some
wanna
of
put
the,
some-
we can
that's
put some of the
good.
Playmobil
That's
stuff
good.
on the
Okay,
shelves.
I like that.
If you
I
wanna
like
do
that a
that.
lot. Put Playmobil stuff back there.
Yeah, we
okay.
can- I
So
can-
then
What
let's
is
open
your
up
plan,
an
though,
Ecto 1
Greg?
and let's open up a Stay Puft Marshmallow
What's
Man.
your storage plan for this?
'Cause
like-
currently I have a roommate, Lucy James.
Yeah.
She has too many closets in her room. So we have one closet that is the Miller stuff. And when I say the Miller stuff, I mean Greg's Ghostbuster stuff, where my multiple proton packs and props are, where my broken surround sound system is, where my Lego Ghostbusters Firehouse is, and where I have some children's books, also Ghostbusters related, now Bonum related, and now where all his Playmobil stuff will be.
Wow. You really thought of everything.
I just want, a lot of people think I'm playing around, not serious about having a kid because I have no plans to have a kid. But let me tell you, now that I got the Playmobil stuff, you know what I mean? First off, I've proved I'm going to be a good dad.
Yeah.
And secondly, I should get moving on these kids because I want to open this stuff up. And that's going to be the real problem, right? Look at the box, Nick. What do you see? What does it say right there?
It says 79 pieces.
No, right. The one I'm pointing at.
Oh, 6+.
I got to wait for these kids to turn 6 to open this up.
That's more of a suggestion, really.
Because that's the thing is if they, we'll get it, just get this out of the way.
Because I want you to know, if you have a child, I'm going to come over and start reading Harry Potter immediately.
I don't mind that.
Hell yeah, you are.
Here's the one thing. If I catch Andy Cortez talking at all about Aragon or some dragon, some stupid eye, I'll be like, you know what, Andy, leave the house. 3-year-old, we're watching Clerks right now.
And then Baby Miller.
Hell yeah.
And then they walk for an entire movie. They just walk.
He's nailing it. He's nailing it.
And there's some subtle. Oh,
There we
wow.
go.
Look at that. Oh my god. Shout out
Look
to
at how good it looks. And that's the thing, Tim. I know you don't care about Ghostbusters. I understand.
okay.
We all have our own passions and things like that.
Yes.
But you can't tell me when you look at that doesn't look cool.
You're right.
All right? Not to mention this. And again, shout out to them. Because when I was a kid, you know what I would have been mad about with this, Tim? I would have looked at this box and been like, why the slime on there?
Yeah.
I don't want the slime on there.
It's optional.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's the thing. I want authenticity in my
it.
Playmobil Ghostbuster products, and I'm happy they're giving it.
This is really
Looks
cool.
like you're gonna. I reached out to LG once. I'm a big fan of their TVs.
Sure.
And I was like, I
Can I
wonder
take
if
this
we can
out?
do tech reviews here. If they can send us TVs, we can get some.
I really
fucking
need new
TVs.
TVs from my house.
That'd be amazing.
Well,
right?
then, okay, Playmobil.
What's up, Playmobil? Make a TV. Send it to us. Come on.
Here's the thing. I reached out to them to do tech reviews. They pretty much never responded to me. Maybe I went about this all wrong. Maybe
gotta
I need to DM
apparently
LG
DM them.
and be like, hey, I'm preparing to have an unborn child maybe one day.
Nailed it.
They're going to need a TV, and maybe then they'll listen.
What do you want my kids to watch? 1080p? Like a fucking pedestrian?
Nah, dude.
No, he's got to watch
We're a
4K,
4K
8K.
family now.
8K.
8K by the time it comes out, right? Look at how good this. I mean, like
That's really
we haven't
cool.
put the stickers on. We haven't done anything. It looks dynamite.
Oh man, I couldn't put the stickers on myself.
Oh, I can't.
I'm
That's
too
what I
anal
want.
retentive.
You know, this is the thing. Big old Jamie Kennedy talks about all the time. Is me screaming at her when she'd put the stickers on wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
And
that's
then-
because it's forever.
And then we got a fight once, as a little kid, with my Ghostbusters Firehouse, I do believe, where she had put a sticker on wrong. And then she went and got the box, and she's like, "Look, man, it looks like that on the box. I'm sorry, that's not real Ghostbusters accurate, but that's how it's got to be."
Wow.
What are you doing?
Well,
What are
how'd you handle
What are you
that?
doing? Don't just jump in there. There's instructions. There's things.
There's 2 instructions.
Uncle Nicky,
literally.
there's 2
Uncle
instructions.
Nick's just gonna put the
Literally
sticker
not in the foot. Don't you snap that in there. I still got to put the ladder on. Hold on. You're jumping all the way. We don't have the wheels on.
You're
You're jumping all the way to step number 5. Also, we need to put batteries in it.
Oh yeah, batteries. It's got one of those screws.
Oh, it's smart.
So we're gonna have to
the kids eating
unscrew
the
it.
batteries.
Kevin's gonna have to bring his Leatherman
I'm sure this will
over
go
and
into the
unscrew this
pre-show, but
thing.
I'm gonna need a screwdriver. What do we need there?
You mean the post show?
Whatever. We can just do a post show too. Yeah, I'm gonna need
Look, this whole
Phillips.
thing opens up. Oh, that's genius.
Because you put the Ghostbusters in it.
and the little packs go here.
Yeah. This is well thought out, man.
Did you do this?
This is really cool.
No, that's right.
Yeah, no. Here, you want to unbox something and put it together? We get Stay Puft. Get Mr. Stay Puft out.
Don't give me the
I'm
easy
trying to help
thing.
you. I'm trying to help you.
No, you're trying to make sure I don't screw up the one that you
I
really
don't want to
care
have to
about.
go scream at you like I screamed at my mom as a child. All right,
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
I want to shout out. I want to give a shout out to they have the pull tab like you have on Pop Tarts.
Yeah.
For this thing, which is cool. Let me try to do it. Nope, it didn't work. And now I'm just ripping the thing open.
So yeah, this has been the Kind of Funny podcast.
That did work.
Yeah, great.
Hold on, let me get the license plate on.
Oh, I'm stressed out. I don't like the stickers.
Oh, you gotta just line it up. You know what I mean?
Gotta line it up.
Well, this
There you
is
go.
just
See,
way
done.
easier.
That's why I
Doesn't
gave
have
it
many
to you.
instructions.
Well, yeah, because you can't screw it up. That's why I gave it to you.
What? I'm good at following instructions. I would have been fine. Okay, first off.
I can't even. I don't even want to.
Second off, your wife at one point is just gonna
roll.
roll her fucking eyes when you bring all this home.
No, she'll be very happy. You know what I mean?
No.
Why wouldn't you be happy? This is like one of the most romantic things you can do. Hey, honey, I'm thinking of the kids we may or may not have one day.
I want to say that Stance has a little extra on him.
They made him the fat one.
And that's no, not that. I mean, he's got a little white stuff on his chin, so that's great.
It's because he's with a marshmallow man. All right, Nick. Now, Nick, do you want to be allowed around my children?
I mean, at some point, you're just gonna hand me your child and go away for a weekend, and I'm gonna have to watch it. So,
Nick,
what are
with
you
all
gonna
due
do? Are you
respect,
gonna let
I don't
Cooley
leave
watch it?
Portillo with you. And there's a reason for that, all right?
Listen.
That's why. Now, Joey, on the other hand, Aunt Joey, get ready.
Oh my God, Aunt Joey
Not
rolls her
until they're
eyes.
like 4 or 5.
4 or 5.
I don't like babies.
You don't do diapers? You don't do
like,
babies?
No, I just don't like babies. They're too breakable.
They're too breakable?
Yeah.
Babies are the most unbreakable
But you
ones.
have you have to hold
Those
like
ones
the
you can
neck.
just flop around. They're fine.
No,
I think
I
of a baby, because I've probably only held 3 or 4. Like I think of a puppy Portillo, where I could fucking puppy Portillo. You could drop him, toss him around, no problem. Fucking 14-year-old now Portillo, you breathe at him wrong. Fucking dog yelps, broken in half.
Wow.
Go ahead and outro the show, Tim.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Kind of Funny podcast. Thank you very much for enjoying this episode. Thank you, Patreon supporters, Patreon producers, Patreon members, all of you Patreon people for making this show happen. If you want to get the show free, that's cool too. YouTube.com/kindoffunny or podcast services. Where, Greg?
Around the globe.
Exactly. That's
Thank
the truth.
Playmobil too.
And shout out to Playmobil. You know,
Coming
making baby. What did you name your kid again?
I said little Greggies because I don't want to give away any of the names I've been thinking of.
Claudia. Claudia Miller is going to enjoy this very much. LG.
Well,
if
this
you're
one we get
listening.
to enjoy.
Oh yeah, the whole family of us. But yeah, LG, if you're listening, my baby might want a nice TV. I'm looking at that maybe a C9. Is that a thing yet?
I mean, in the future.
By the time you have a kid, probably. You know what I mean?
C9's probably.
C8 is the thing. I don't think.
Did they not upgrade this year?
No, because they did the rolling one this year, right? Isn't that the new big
That was a
thing?
different thing.
God, it has a
Anyway,
cable and everything.
LG, hit me up. What's up? I love you. Watch us on Rooster Teeth. Stay tuned to the post show. That's all the stuff. That's the rigmarole, ladies and gentlemen.
Really fun.
So are we in the post show?